Hello everybody and welcome back to Saxlingham. So normally when I do videos, I normally alternate, so I'll do one of Saxlingham and one of Alma. But knowing how much we've got to do in the next couple of episodes for Saxlingham, this is the second one I'm doing in a row, which is not the most common of things. But like I say, we need to get this ploughing contract done. You'll see in the interim, we have sold a load of wheat, so there's a full trailer load gone there, and we've just sold, as I started this recording, some sugar beet. So everything's going, all hands on deck, everything's going on at the minute, which is brilliant. And then what I'm hoping we may even get a start with is once we've done the sugar beet and we've sold the wheat, we can then look to move on. And moving on means that we can buy ourselves a chipper, which we can do now if we wanted to, but we might as well wait for next month when the price of wood chips should be at its best. And then we can start making an absolute fortune from there, because that's going to be the money maker. And I would like to think that if we split it, so we did half an episode of this one, finishing the sugar beet and then doing the rest of wood chips when we move on, to then doing all wood chips in the next episode, it means it's not all sort of one big bulk. It may even be worth getting a sawmill, but what I don't want to be doing is getting a sawmill and then doing a lot of woodwork, because I know we're doing that. When I say woodwork, the production, picking up all the pallets, that sort of thing, because I know we're doing that in Alma. And I'm just trying to think of ways that we can do this series slightly different to others. And I have actually installed in liquid fertiliser productions, herbicide productions, and making our own seed. And considering we've got our own lime factory, the way my thought process is going is we're not really going to have, or I can't see, a series where we're going to be, try and make ourselves as self-sufficient as possible. So that could be a good way to go down on this one. Because especially, productions are a fairly big thing now in FS, so we'll be doing them in a lot of episodes, so for something slightly different, I think would be quite good. But in the meantime, this is going to be the longest part, is try and get this ploughing contract done, because it's going to take a bit of time doing all the turns to make sure that everything's done right. So, considering I've never ploughed in my life by using I think it used to be a 2, is it a 2 or a 3 for a plough? I can't remember. A tiny little plough, but it was not doing anything properly. It was just getting the ground turned over, ready for drilling. I don't think I've done too bad a job there. The only thing I should have done on that one is, as I came down, I shouldn't have flicked the plough round, shouldn't have turned it round, so that it would have kept, we wouldn't have had there was 2 furrow lines or whatever you want to call them there. So right, let's lift this up, and we want to get this folded now, because that's a good job, I'm going to say, done. We need to check, so we've had a few loads of sugar beet have been sold, but I have a funny feeling our JCB could be slightly stuck somewhere. So it's stuck down there, so that could be a job that we have to go do ourselves. I'm going to not, bar buying the chipper now, I'm not going to spend any money on farmland or anything like that until we have the bulk of the the chipping money in. I just think it means that we can get, because nothing's going to be drilled. Like you think 40, is it 41 or 40 that I'm interested in getting? 35 definitely, but 40. None of these are drilled. Yeah, so that's cultivated. That's cultivated. Yeah, so the two fields that I'd like to go for. Yeah, we should. Oh, hello. Shouldn't be in this field. But right, we will go back to the dealership. We will return this, and then considering the sugar beet harvest is still going, and yes, it's very, very slow. I think we may go jump into the JCB and just take over selling this week because it's taking a bit of time. And I'll just have a quick look. We're going to drive into some trees now, I bet you. Wheat. Oh, so if he's got a full load, that'll be the last load really to sell. I don't think there's any point selling the remainder of that wheat. And if we do go down the seed production, I'd love it to be more realistic. I think in FS22 there were mods for it where, you know, if you were to use wheat, if you were used to wheat to make seeds, you could only then drill wheat with those seeds. I wish it was like that. That would be amazing. But unfortunately, I don't think it is. So we will just turn into here. I do really like this plough. I'm not a big fan of the toe behind ones too much, like what this one is. But the working width, you know, doing 4 point, or was it 4.5 did it say on when we went to steering assist? You know, it's a fair working width for a plough, and I don't think these are too expensive if you were to look to buy one. So let's just leave that there for now. If we get into here, what's on? Yeah, there's nothing for sale. How much is that plough worth? 50,000, so it's not a lot. And you think, to be fair, you're probably worth upgrading to this one. Most likely. But right, let's have chippers. Wood chippers. So we are going for... which one of these is it? That's got no crane, so it'll be the... Luckily, I think the one I want is the cheapest one, where you do have, yeah, so you got a crane, feed it in, and sell straight from there. Automatic pipe control, yes. Okay, we're just going to go standard with that. It says £5,000 just to have the cab on. Well, we might as well. We're going to be making a serious amount of money here, aren't we? Trailer Bark, do they do BKTs? Gonna go with those ones. I think we're just gonna go like that. So let's buy that. It's £95,400, which we should make that back relatively easily. If we jump out, we'll have to just wait here for a second, but we can go collect the contract. So there's £15,000 for that done. I also need to have a look at what is our current thing. So jobs. So we've done 16 jobs for David. Where's Walter? So we've already done 2 for Walter. We really need to have a look at doing a few more for him, because he owns field 40 is owned by Walter, so to get a bigger discount we need to do 3 jobs for him before we buy that. And who owns 30? Brilliant. So 35 is David, so we can also look to buy that. So I have decided we are going to just sell this and we'll leave that 4,000 litres. It's almost not worth the diesel cost to come up and sell it. But we'll get this load sold, because in the next, when we move on, after we've done the sugar beet harvest, we've got barley to sell. And then I think barley and straw, just need to check the prices of them. Let's just make sure we pull forward here, because this trailer's a bit big. So if we go to here, so straw is still on the up, and that says January to sell all that. And barley is still on the up, and that again says January. And then if we look onto here and go right down to the bottom, wood chips, So yeah, that is January 1,600. So there's another £100 hopefully to add on to that. And we have just sold that, but do we get any money for that? We did get money for that. I just forgot we just spent £100,000 on on a chipper. I just looked at price thinking that hasn't changed very much. But right, we will get this down to our farm. We're going to go... Or should we go to the sugar beet field? Maybe. No. I'm going to drop the trailer off at our farm. We're then going to go get the chipper, and then we can make our way to the sugar beet field just to see how they're getting on. And I may just take over in the harvester. It's a lovely harvester, is that sugar beet harvester, but it's just everything about it's too small. The header's too small, the tank's too small for what we're trying to do. So it would have cost us a fair amount of money, I reckon, in leasing fees. Right, we want to go down here. And then, like I say, we'll drop this trailer off because it's this. You need the extensions off really for the sugar beet harvester we're using. But yeah, we'll drop this off and get the chipper and see how they're all getting on. And I may just take over for a short while. So whilst I'm just reversing this in, the area that I want to convert for liquid fertiliser and our seed production, I'll just turn them beacons off, is right next to the I'm getting tongue-tied there. Right next to the diesel tank here. So I think I can fit one to the right, and if I remove, which I'm hoping we should be able to remove, that IBC and those other bits of pipe maybe? Yeah, if I can get them removed, I'll probably get the seed production into there, and it just keeps everything out of the way for vehicles coming and going. Right, we're off to the dealership now to get the wood chipper. So I have used this wood chipper before, and it's brilliant. Used it in the Silver Run series, well, half the Silver Run series that we did, and it's a fantastic machine. Not only for the price, but the ease of use. You know, having a crane on it, just be able to lift it straight on. So this would probably. What's the crane doing so high there? Okay, that's the feet. How do we... Okay, that's unfolding it. That's the only thing I don't like about it is the crane's up high. So let's just... Well, let's fold it up and just see. The only thing I don't like is that arm being so high up in the air. But now it's gone back down. Interesting, so by the looks of it, you need to fold it and unfold it as soon as you buy it. Right, off to the sugar beet field now, just to see how these lot are getting on. And we're on the wrong side of the road. Also, I did forget to mention that one of the downsides, another one of the downsides to do with that harvester is because the arm is constantly out. It means that when you're trying to use auto drive and course play together, or just auto drive with yourself driving it, the tractors are constantly following you, but they won't unload. I don't know why, but they won't unload on the move. So it just means, you know, and they get in the way. Off camera, I do keep flicking back to check, and what I have been finding is the likes of, say, this tractor, for instance, he'll be parked on this row here, so then the combine, well, the harvester will get to them, and then they sort of stop, have a bit of a chin wag, work out who's in the wrong, and then eventually the tractor will move out of the way and give way for the sugar beet harvester. But, right, well, we're catching up slowly but surely. Come on. Right, let's hop in here. We'll let them complete this row, and then once this row's complete, I'll take over and see how far we can get. Obviously, that's on the angle on that side, so a few more up-downs, and we shouldn't be far off, getting smaller and smaller and smaller. But that is definitely 3/5 of the field done. The headland was one of the biggest jobs. That's why I wanted to get that done myself, because that would have taken forever with a worker. What, 70% full, and here the tracks. So when you use course play, the tractor doesn't, it does stay back. Just when I'm driving, it doesn't. Right, let's turn you off and I'll take over. Well, as it's looking like we're about to have have a crash here, this is what I was saying earlier about with the auto drive and course play, is you just get in the way. They're both getting in the way of each other. So if we back up, is that going to move out our way? Yeah. I am considering this, so there isn't much left to do. We will just, I think what I'll do is I'll just finish off the rest of this because I don't really want to do another time lapse of it all. Let's just wait there, see if that goes. Stop going away from me. Oh, I want to get this emptied into here, but I don't know why they're reversing away. Hopefully it'll be a quick unload into it. Yeah, so I'm just going to jump cut it to we're on the final pass and get this finished, and then we can move on. Then, like I say, it'll be into wood chips. Right, with that now over, let's continue, and I will see you shortly. So I've worked out if I take the speed limiter off, I can unload at the same time. I don't know whether he's meant to be there or not, or whether he's trying to drive ahead of us, but anyways, nothing like a bit of cheating just to finish off. So this is the final stretch. Our class is off unloading, and then this will be the last little bit. And you're kidding. He stopped right at the last minute. Can we go and get this into the trailer whilst he's still there or not? It helps if I probably turn it off, give us a bit more speed. Come on. Where are you off? This is like the slowest chase in history. 6 mile an hour reversing speed. It's only 139 litres we need to get in. Come on, let's get this in now. Quickly. And there we go. So, I am going to get this returned now. I'm going to hop into here first, and we'll fire the worker. So with that worker now fired, let's go into here and our leasing machines. So we've had that for 2.7 hours. That's a fair while to have one bit of machinery, and like magic, that's gone. We now need to make our way down to go to the farmer's market, which is just down here, get this last little bit sold, which it's a shame we've done it like this. Well, it is and it isn't. It is a shame because we could have made a fair amount of sugar from it all. But considering we're not going into the sugar business, especially if you look at sugar prices at the minute, I think farmers currently are being paid very, very little for sugar, to the point of where they're losing money on, well, losing a vast amount of money on sugar beet crops. So we're not going into that business. So let's see what 59% of a trailer's worth. Let's pull that into there. Let's get that. That was a very bright light, wasn't it? So after the sugar beet harvest now and everything else was sold, we're just shy of £870,000. So the only thing left to do is get all the vehicles back to the yard, and we can then look to move on. So I am half toying with getting another tractor, which is a very, very silly thing probably to look at doing, but if we were to get another tractor, I may look at getting one of the smaller JCBs, or getting a smaller Fenton, just for the speed, because we do have our other big trailer and our 2 little trailers, and if we're going to be doing wood chips, it could be handy to do that, especially considering we've got to leave a vehicle on here to power this. But we'll have a look, see if there's anything in the sale. Hopefully there will be something in the sale for us. Absolutely nothing for us in the sale, which is not ideal. But let's have a look now at wood chips. Brilliant. So they are well up there. It's just a shame, obviously the Alamo dealer Bales is closer for us, but I don't know how they're going to sell in there. And what's that, £39? Better off going there, and it's closer. So we'll try to go for that one. But let's just we'll go fill these 2 up. And then what would it be if we went medium tractors? Let's go to here and let's find out. So that would give us, that's what we've already got, 303. Obviously I am looking mainly for speed. I'm sure we had a JCB, so that goes to 235. That's 37. That's only 31. Interesting. If we went for a larger 31, 31, that's what we have already. That's 43. Well, that's 37. 37. What's the difference in those? So that starts at 3. So that starts at 100 horsepower more. We could just go for the absolute behemoth. 396. That's the Gen 3. Obviously, that's a modded one. So why is that one? Is it because we get a load more stuff to play around with, or? Now let's have a look at this one, which is the base game one. I don't know why that's different. This gives us interactive control. But does it do anything else different? So you are paying line settings. What's that? Because ideally, what I really want to go for is something like this, just to have a bit of difference, a bit of change. But you look at that; that only goes to, so that goes 673. And what does this go to max? If we were to max it out, 517. Would you may be able to get a crawler, get that crawler track on the chipper, and then we can use and then that can be solely for field work and prep. Well, we could use this one as well because it's a fair size. Right, let's get this up the top and we will have a look at getting these 2 trailers filled. But I do think we need to look at getting another one. But this is where we're going to be making the bulk of our money. There is also barley and straw to sell, so we'll be in this month for quite a while. This episode definitely next. Whether we do half of the one after that would be interesting to see. So right, let's pull up. Probably best starting a bit further up like this. Let's put our support legs down and get us unfolded. This will be our best port of call. So we want the pipe out. That should automatically snap to the trailers. Like so. Turn this on, and there we go. I was just about to say, for some reason I've got no controls of the grab, well, of the crane, let's say. So I have tried this already on a previous, just on a completely separate save to make sure this worked, and it did work. So that is, it has chipped, it's just not chipping at the moment for some reason. Come on, let's get you chipping. Is it chipping and going in or not? We'll have to work this out. I hope this does work, because otherwise we're in a bit of bother if this doesn't. Well, I think I'm going to admit defeat with that, because this is not going well at all for us using this one. So it keeps moving, well, the trailer keeps moving trying to do all this. So I am going to, if we just go to lift up our support legs, we'll just pull this out of the way. We have got a load of wood chips going to be sold. So I'm going to pull this out of the way. We can go get I've leased one of the bigger wood chippers, so I'm hoping that's going to be a bit better for us, which also means that we don't need an extra tractor because we can put the bigger one onto here. But let's go get this lease machine and see how this works. I really hope this works a bit better. We have just sold a trailer load of wood chips, which we did get £40,000 for. So considering these are only small trailers, that is a lot of money that we've just made. So right, how does this work? So let's get this unfolded. So that's support legs down. If we... Okay, I'd rather try do it in the cab because it's a bit more realistic. Do we need to unfold the pipe? So let's get that unfolded. I'm hoping this grab can do some of the heavier ones. Let's go for a heavy one first, or a bigger one first, because I think that's part of the problem with our one, which if that is the case, we will have to look at selling ours again. So that should be it turned on. Let's get, it's a bit of a different angle in here, seeing this. Let's put that into there. That seems to be demolishing that fairly decent. Oh, amazing. Right, okay, so let's go to the next one. This should have been, let's go for this one over here. Let's grab you, if we can. Let's drop down and try again to get you. Okay, we only just have you. We may lose you in this, trying to get this in. It would be a lot easier, I reckon, from the picture of the crane than what we're trying to do it from here. So let's go. Definitely. It doesn't help that the exhaust pipe, if you see the exhaust pipe's right in front of us, I can't even get hold of that log there. I did think I did stack these relatively half decent, but I know we've just knocked a load out of the way. So can we get that log in like that? There we go. So that log's in. Right, this is the way forward. Our one is good, but it's not good for timber like this. We're gonna have to sell our one. And if we have the finances, we'll have to probably look at buying one like this if we're going to go big into this wood chipping. But it's definitely where the money's at, that is for certain. So if I drop those two there, they're going in. That gives us another full trailer. So we'll send this, we'll send this off to the animal dealer, get this all sorted. So that's that trailer off. We will go, we'll get this to the store, get that sold, because we're not going to be using that now, which is an absolute shame. So let's get this to the store, we'll sell this, get some more money back, and then we'll go put the big trailer on this, and then that can use to run that. I just need to decide whether I should really keep that other time lapse in. Probably should do, to be fair. Right, we'll pull this in here. If it's all the pipe just did it. Let's get our money back for here. So we did, it was 90 odd thousand pounds. I don't think we're going to get that back. Yeah, look there, we've already. So let's repair, repaint. So we've lost money there, which is annoying, but anyways. Right, now let's get back to the yard. Let's get that door closed. Let's get our big trailer and we'll get that up. And we should break £1 million this episode. So I have just spun this round, but there is our other tractors on his way up, so I don't want to get in his way. Let's let him come. We've got no auto drive point to here, so all our stuff will be going to the auto drive point just up there, which is the closest one. Whoa, how much is in storage? Don't say we're going to be filling this up before we even get moving. Wow. Okay, so that was 14,500 litres of wood chips already there. Right, let's leave that here. Let's jump into here. And then, yeah, this is what we will do. Where is my crane? There it is. Let's just see if we can get these knocked in to continue chipping. Right, that one's going. I think there's that much wood in these that they're just going so slow just to get the wood chips in. It's amazing if that is the case, because we're going to make some serious money. This machine is awesome. It seems to have a very big sort of internal capacity, although it doesn't tell you the capacity inside. You seem to be able just to keep chipping, and when you pull a trailer up, depending on how much you've done, it will just load it up. Like that last trailer we just did, you know, it managed to fill the trailer completely. So I'm thinking, whilst we're waiting, we can just keep chipping away like this, and then as the trailers turn up, we can get them full, and then they're just straight off again. Really need to put it so that there's a marker for them to come to here, instead of me jumping out and moving the trailers by hand, you know, to where we need them to be. But if that's the only thing we've got to do, it's only a small inconvenience, I think, in the grand scheme of things. We've made over $1 million now, so we're 1.1 million. So whoever suggested wood chips, yes, it was always going to be a very, very good idea, but it's certainly going to help us move along rather nicely. Depending on how much we do, because in hindsight we should really have bought this thing, and then we can just keep chipping whenever we have a spare sort of like 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. It's a job that we can just jump in very quickly and do a bit and make a lot of money. I should really have a look to see if there's a wood chip silo, because if there is one, it'd be worth putting one of those down, because then all year we can chip and obviously just not sell, and then we can set something up with auto drive, so then we can just sell nicely off there. Our JCB is back, which is good. And that trailer, what did we get on it? I forget what it was. I think it was £80,000 per trailer load with that one. Right, let's do that. We'll grab one more. So it was half tidy, but we've made a bit of a mess doing. The only thing I would say about this that could be slightly better was if the crane was a bit longer. But I'm sure with anything, you know, it can only be so long. But it is an absolute fantastic machine, and if we were to chip everything, you know, we would be multi-millions, you know, of pounds. But right, let's leave that like that. We'll have to run up here to jump in this one, and then I may just off camera. Should I make an auto drive route? See the small trailers there. There's £40,500 just there. So you can see with this one, we've got, that must have got 43 litres as we've driven past to come up here. And it's why I'm keeping all the tractors on the right hand side, so that the other tractors coming in can get through. So let's see how full we can get this, although we're not doing any chipping. I reckon we'll get a fair way. Our fence making an appearance. So it's just a class that's off selling now. So yeah, there's 30,000 litres already. And it's still going. We're going to get a full trailer load out of this. There you go, 46,000 litres out of the internal storage, which is just quite amazing. But anyways, I think that's where we're going to end it for this episode. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.